GLM 5.3 came out on August 14th, and the strange part is that Z.ai didn't train a new base model for it. It's the same 743 billion parameter mixture of experts base that GLM 5.2 used. Same 1 million token context window. Same architecture. Everything you're about to see came from post-training alone. That's the claim anyway, and it's worth checking because the jumps are large enough that people are already asking whether the benchmarks are measuring what they say they measure. Terminal Bench 3.0 is the number that gets shared the most. GLM 5.2 scored 4.6 on it. GLM 5.3 scores 28.3. That's not a small correction. That's a model going from basically broken at command line work to functional. Deep sway moves from 46.2 to 66.9. Agent's last exam on the CLI variant goes from 23.8 to 28.5. On Automation Bench, it hits 48.2, which puts it above Kimi K3 at 46.7, Fable 5 at 46.2, and GPT 5.6 Sol at 45.8. And on GDP-Val AA version 2, it posts 1,769 ELO, ahead of everything else in the comparison set. Now the part Z.ai's own chart shows, and most coverage skips over. GLM 5.3 does not win the board. On Terminal Bench 3.0, Fable 5 sits at 33.7 and Sol at 34.6, so GLM is still 5 or 6 points behind. On Deep Sway, Sol is at 72.7 and Fable at 69.7. On Humanity's Last Exam with Tools, GLM gets 62.5, while Sol takes 64.5. So the honest framing is that this is the strongest open weights coding model anyone has published numbers for, and it's still trailing the closed frontier on the hardest coding evals. Those two things are both true, and the second one matters if you're deciding what to actually build on. Their internal eval is where the more interesting claim sits. Z.ai runs something called Z-Code Bench, which is private, so it's harder to contaminate with public test data. They report a 50% improvement over GLM 5.2 on it. And they say GLM 5.3 beats Claude Opus 4.8 at comparable effort while burning far fewer tokens to get there. 31.4% at roughly 50,000 output tokens per task, against Opus at 29.5%, using 120,000. That token efficiency angle is underrated. If you're running agents at scale, cost per completed task is the number your finance team cares about, not the leaderboard position. Fable 5 still leads that bench at 39.5% on max effort, so nobody's claiming a clean sweep. The security side is where this release stops being a normal model update. Z.ai added vulnerability discovery data and security environments to post-training, expecting the model to get better at spotting individual bugs. What they say happened instead is that capability kept compounding as they scaled training, and the model started reasoning across multiple stages of an attack, rather than finding isolated flaws. They describe it as forming coherent plans for complete exploitation chains. And they're explicit that they didn't plan for that. On CyberGym, which tests whether a model can find and confirm vulnerabilities from white box source code, GLM 5.3 scores 84.5%. Mythos 5 gets 83.8. GPT 5.6 Sol gets 83.6. That's an open model edging out the two most restricted systems in the industry on a defensive security benchmark, which nobody really expected this cycle. On Exploit Bench, which is about actually reasoning through and executing an exploit, it goes from 24.4 to 54.4, more than double. But Fable 5 is at 78 and Sol at 76.5 there, so the gap is still wide. CyberGym tells the same story with numbers. 105 tasks finished in a 2-hour budget and 130 in 6 hours against 181 and 247 for Mythos 5, and 216 and 293 for Sol. The pattern is consistent, and Z.ai says it out loud. The further up the exploitation chain a benchmark sits, the bigger their gain over 5.2 and the bigger the remaining gap to the closed models, which is roughly the capability skew you'd want if you're positioning a model for defenders instead of attackers. Finding and validating a bug is not the same job as producing a working attack, and this model is clearly better at the first one. The real-world numbers are more convincing to me than any of the benchmarks. Working with security teams and universities in China, Z.ai says their models have identified 2,436 vulnerabilities across 269 open-source projects since GLM 5.2 shipped. 1,097 of those are rated critical or high severity. This covers system kernels, operating systems, browser engines, network protocols. Some of these bugs had been sitting there for decades. The oldest one they mention was introduced in 1981. There's a public disclosure ledger tracking the whole process, and at launch 53 were publicly disclosed with CVEs assigned, while 2,383 were still under embargo. Specific findings that have leaked out include a use after free in the Linux kernel, a memory handling flaw in WebKit that affects Safari, a parameter validation bug in FreeBSD, and a DNS protocol issue that had apparently been dormant for around 40 years with an amplification factor reportedly in the tens of thousands. There's also a cursor vulnerability. A Z.ai developer advocate posted that they gave GLM 5.3 a complex reverse engineering task, and it found what they called a potentially serious vulnerability in Cursor, disclosed privately, with the Cursor team working on a fix. Details are being held until users are patched. That combination is exactly why the release works differently from every GLM launch before it. GLM 5.2 went up on Hugging Face under an MIT license within days. GLM 5.3 did not. Right now, you can only get it through the GLM coding plan and Z-Code, their own coding agent. API access and open waits are staged behind a safety review, with waits expected roughly 2 weeks after launch. The most sensitive security functions are going to be gated behind a trusted access program for verified users only. The safeguards are 3 layers. There's an external classifier on their hosted service that flags high-risk requests before they run. There's a reasoning monitor that watches the model during task execution and looks for harmful objectives that only become visible partway through a job. And there's refusal training baked into the model itself. They also grade risk by task category, so a CTF challenge and an actual intrusion attempt get different thresholds, since the code and terminology look identical either way. The obvious criticism, and plenty of people have made it, is that 2 of those 3 layers live on Z.ai's servers. Once the weights are downloadable, anyone can fine-tune the refusal behavior out, and the classifier and the monitor simply don't come along with the file. Alongside this, they're launching Open Source Shield, which audits selected open source projects, hands model access to defensive security work, and adds code auditing into their Z-Code product. Maintainers can submit projects for review. It's a reasonable counterweight, but it doesn't change the math on the weights themselves. Practical stuff if you want to use it. The coding plan starts at $18 a month on Lite, then $80 for Pro and $168 for Max on monthly billing, dropping to about $12.60, $56, and $117.60 if you pay yearly. It's a credit-based quota system with off-peak usage charged at half rate. Z.ai has not published a per-token API rate for 5.3 yet. Their pricing table still ends at GLM 5.2 at $1.40 input and $4.40 output per million tokens. Z-Code will route the model into other harnesses including Claude Code, so you're not forced into their IDE. One breaking change to watch. The API now has 3 thinking effort levels, low, high, and max, and you can no longer turn thinking off entirely. If you have an app running GLM with thinking disabled for latency reasons, that config stops working. Early reactions have been mostly positive with some sharp asks attached. Unsloth asked whether this makes it the strongest open model to date, and said they're waiting to build quants, which they can't do yet because there's nothing to quantize. They also asked for a smaller flash-sized version, which is the request that keeps coming up because a 743 billion parameter model needs roughly 400 gigabytes of memory, even at 4-bit. So self-hosting means multiple Pro GPUs or renting. Someone building a coding agent product mentioned running an internal eval where they deliberately trap a model in a loop, and said every previous GLM just kept looping, while 5.3 is the first one to notice and break out. That kind of thing matters more for production agents than any benchmark row. Context for where this sits. DeepSeek shipped V4 Pro out of preview days earlier. Kimi K3 is in the same conversation, and Z.ai's next model is reportedly moving to a new architecture with roughly double the parameters. So the pressure on the closed labs isn't easing. My honest read, every number here is vendor reported from Z.ai's own harnessed configurations. The Codebench results, and the cyber scores in particular, need independent replication before anyone treats them as settled. That testing starts when the weights land at the end of August. What's not in dispute is the disclosure ledger. Over 1,000 critical and high-severity bugs are moving through coordinated disclosure right now because a model found them. And that's a real outcome regardless of where the benchmark chips fall.